This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome to another week here in the X-Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And of course, the X-Zone is a place where people dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And we come to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until 2 a.m. Eastern, all around the world on the Talkstar Radio Network, X-Zone Broadcast Network, iHeart Radio. Let's see, I did Talkstar already. Thanks, Craig. IPBN Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, and the iHeart Radio Network. If you'd like to contact us, X-Zone at xzoneradiotv.com on all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And if for all the great programming we have available for you, 7/24/365 on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. X-Zone Nation, my guests this hour are Nicole and Michael Sebastien. They are known as the Dream Team. They were been featured on A&D, E, VH1, and countless others. Reverends Nicole and Michael Sebastien, psychologist and sociologist, co-founders of the Dream Team, Celebrity Life Coaching, creators of Trust Yourself System, and Trust Yourself Therapy, are known as modern-day oracles, delivering Wise-Counsel using unique tools of dreams, sound, synchronicity, intuition, and quantum physics for guidance and direction. Two websites, www.dreamteamcoaching.tv and www.trustyourselfsystem.com. And Nicole and Michael, welcome back to the X-Zone. Long time no talk.
Hello. Good to be back. Thanks for having us, Rob.
Hey, it's great having you guys. What have you been up to since we last talked?
Well, quite a few books, actually, working on our own TV show. You know, that should pop off this year sometime. And working on our fifth book, actually.
Wow.
That should be out later this year.
5 books already. What is it? You know, why do you think so many more people are opening up their hearts, opening up their minds to the possibility, that are seeing an influx and great numbers in talking about quantum physics, about dreams and everything else that you guys cover?
Well, I'll go first, then I'll let Michael, because I know he's dying to comment. But I simply believe that the more pain and suffering that occur, the more people are open to alternative methods. That is what I have noted in my 24 years of working with clients.
What do you say, Mike?
I would say, yeah, Nicole's right. If the more we get beaten, the more we're ready for a rest from the beating, and it's kind of interesting. I believe we're going into a golden age in a lot of ways. There's a lot of writings on this now that we're entering a new age of spirituality, but at the same time, I find it intriguing that when we look at the fabric of what's going on right now, anywhere, just flip on something and see what's happening. It's brutal. There's a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of time, a lot of injustice, and at the same time, there seems to be a right alongside of that, there seems to be a spiritual awakening. A lot of people finally are opening themselves to dreams, like dreams that have become a subject. Intuition, people are going, whoa, hey, I'm interested in this.
Yeah.
10 years ago, they weren't, and it's changed dramatically that much.
You see, I look at these times as the times that were talked about in the Bible, in the book of Revelation. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of existence. It's the end of the old way of thinking and opening and welcoming the new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. It's kind of, it reminds me of, there's a saying that the old consciousness must first die before the new consciousness comes in and takes over. And it's almost like the Exodus, or, when they all left Egypt. At some point, all the people along that journey over, 40 years, most of them died. And then the youth or the new consciousness took over, and they found the promised land and started a new nation. So maybe that's the way it's going, something like that.
Well, stand by, guys. You and I have to take our first commercial break. X-Zone Nation, Nicole and Mike Sebastien are our special guests this hour. They are the Dream Team, and their website is dreamteamcoaching.tv and trustyourselfsystem.com. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Whatever you do, do not go away.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Hello, I'm Pete Marsh. With my daughter Justina, we will be presenting the new radio show, Too Good to Be True. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. But with the help of Justina's amazing gifts, we're going to gain insight into questions that don't yet have complete answers. Have you wondered who built Stonehenge and for what reason? Why are crop circles found in the same region as Stonehenge and elsewhere? Are crop circles a hoax, or are they created with technologies that we have little knowledge of? Who built the pyramids in Egypt and also in other countries? How and why were they built? Was the Titanic switched with the Britannic as part of a gigantic insurance fraud, or for more insidious reasons? What caused the Tunguska event when trees were flattened over an 800 square mile area in Siberia? Will the new insights be too good to be true? Well, that will depend on what you are prepared to believe. Please join us as we start on this journey together. For more information on Too Good to Be True, visit www.xzbn.net.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Welcome back, everyone. Nicole and Mike Sebastien, our special guests this hour. They are the Dream Team. And guys, once again, welcome back. And I have to ask you, I was going through the information that you sent us, and what is the Trust Yourself system?
Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, my favorite thing. The Trust Yourself system, simply put, is a methodology utilizing dreams, signs, and intuition as a way to confirm any decision you have to make or any forthcoming adversity so you can avoid getting burned or blindsided, utilizing those innate tools and abilities of dreams, signs, and intuition that run on autopilot 24/7.
And we get that question constantly, and because we do, we're therapists and we counsel people with all kinds of problems, from anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, addiction, you name it. And, they always ask, well, how do you know? Like, am I making the right decision? How do I know this is the right thing to do, to get in this relationship or get out, or to stop this or start that? And, what we provide for them, and we teach them how to do it, is to use the abilities they already have, and we call it the Trust Yourself system. In other words, we teach them how to program their dreams, how to interpret their dreams, how to tap into and use their intuition, because we all have it. I mean, who hasn't had an intuitive nudge or had a sign or an omen or a synchronicity? Everyone. But, most people just kind of blow it off or go, oh, that was interesting. But if we begin to utilize them on a daily basis, become aware of them, and even journal them, suddenly the whole landscape opens up in terms of knowingness. Suddenly we just know what we need to do.
So tell me, how does it work with a dream? What is the physiology behind a dream that in the dream state you're able to gather all this information, and where does it come from?
Well, honestly, your higher self, or soul, if you will. When we sleep, we dream, and when we dream, we actually leave the body in soul form. It's known as soul traveling. In the olden days, it was called astral projection back in the 70s. And soul has access to all information, past, present, and future, because soul does not operate on a timeline as we do in the physical. Hence, we have access to the past, present, and future. For example, Michael met me in a dream 5 years prior to meeting me in the physical. And now we've been together, 21 years afterwards. So, that's just one example of many of how dreams give you a snapshot of your future.
So basically, we can say that you were the girl of his dreams.
I was his dream girl.
She was a dream girl, and actually, I was teaching at college in Texas, and I had a dream. 5 years later, the dream girl actually walked into my class and sat in the front row, and it changed my whole perspective on dreams. That's for sure. That's when I knew they were prophetic, and I said, "Oh my God," because it was personal and it was experiential, and I had the dream and I remembered it at that point.
But does everybody's dream mean the same thing? There are hundreds of books out there on analyzing your dream, and if these dreams are so unique, is one symbol in one person's dream the same as it is for other people's dreams?
Typically not. Now, let me elaborate, if I may.
Sure.
Okay, there are many books, and I would suggest not to buy any. And you won't find dream symbols in any of our books. You will find a certain amount of fear, dream. There's a few dreams that mean the same thing. Like typically birth in a dream means birth of something new, a new idea, a new project, a new way of thinking. And death typically means death of an old way of thinking, an old behavior, an old habit. But here's where the unique piece comes in. We would ask the client, what was on your mind over the last 24 hours? And that typically clues you in to what the dream is referring to, coupled with word association. So let's say I dream of water and you dream of water.
Right.
Well, let's say a month ago I almost drowned, and let's say you're an avid surfer. Water for me probably represents fear, anxiety, this type of thing, whereas water for you represents joy, exhilaration, success. And now if you go to one of those dream dictionaries, water often represents a spiritual cleansing. So do you see how it really matters and is germane to the individual in terms of what the word association, what does that thing mean to you, coupled with what was on your mind within the 24-hour period. And that's the best way to interpret a dream.
I got you, and that makes a lot of sense. How can people better remember their dreams? Because I have a dream, I wake up in the morning, within 10 minutes it's gone.
Therein lies the key. You just said it. When you wake up, with all the clients we work with, we ask them to keep a dream journal by the bed. And you can even buy dream pens, and they have little lights on. Because you wake up in the middle of the night, you don't want to flip all the lights on. But whenever you have a dream and you wake up, jot it down immediately, because you only really have 1 to 2 minutes until it's kind of like smoke.
Wow.
And it'll start evaporating, and you won't remember. No matter how clear it is, later in the day that dream will be gone if you haven't written it down. And journaling is not journaling for journaling's sake, but when we go back and reread those dreams in a week or a month, suddenly we'll see that many of them are prophetic, and they pertain to the answers we've been looking for in our daily life. And a lot of our clients will have breakthroughs. They go, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. If I hadn't journaled that, I would have never seen the pattern and the answers."
I do have a technique I want to share, but I don't know if I should wait. How much time do we have in this segment?
You've got about 6 minutes left.
Okay, good, perfect. If I may, I'd like to share a technique.
Please, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, this is our number one technique for remembering dreams, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But I want to elaborate and simply say that, when we're in the physical, when we're sleeping, we're dreaming, we're in a different state of consciousness. When we wake up, we're in the physical. The best way to remember a dream upon waking is to lie still and keep your eyes closed and not think about the things you have to do, the list for the day, but to lay there and consciously try to focus on what was I just dreaming. That's the best way. And if you keep your eyes closed, it keeps you clued in, locked into that other state of consciousness where the dreams occur. That's why keeping your eyes closed and lying still will make all the difference in terms of dream recall. But here's another technique. It's called the Hue technique. And it's a vibratory technique that one would do prior to sleep. And it's actually a sound, a meditation, if you will. All you do is inhale, and on the exhale, you hue, H-U, hue. Again, it's a vibratory technique that actually harmonizes your subatomic particles and your central nervous system, allowing you to be receptive to the dream state. And Michael wants to elaborate on that.
Yeah, quantum physics basically states that everything is vibration, and the vibrations have different frequencies. And when we change, a lot of people who come to us, people we work with, say, I can't remember my dreams. I've never remembered a dream. We had one guy, 40 years, he said, I've never remembered a dream. He hewed, and it's like taking a remote and changing the channel. That vibration puts us in direct alignment with the inner dream states, so the symbols and the messages and the meanings can come through clearly in a dream. That guy, the next day, he sent us an email, and he had remembered 3 dreams for the first time in 40 years. So it works. The Hue really works well.
How many dreams a night do we dream?
If you ask it, or look in the books, they'll tell you 4 to 6. Mm-hmm. However, what I have found is that we dream all night long in all phases of sleep. And I've actually logged one night, the most I've logged were 14 dreams. So, and it was throughout the evening.
Wow.
So, from personal experience and working with this for several decades, I would say all night long. Rob?
Son of a gun. If somebody eats something before they go to bed, or if they're on one type of a prescription or another, does this affect their dream patterns?
Yes. Prescriptions, yes. Food, not so much. Unless you have a negative relationship with food. Food is definitely going to impact your dream state. A lot of people are addicted to food, and that's a big issue for people. So you're going to have, whatever your issues are, you're going to have dreams about it. You're going to have nightmares about it. You're going to have messages to help correct these issues. So like I said, if you have a negative issue with food, it's definitely going to impact the dream state. But aside from that, just in general, speaking chemically, prescriptions have a huge impact, illicit or prescribed.
Is there a way that we can program ourselves to enter a specific type of dream when we go to sleep?
Yeah, the easiest way is programming a dream. And all we do is we think about, which we automatically do anyway. A lot of people say, I was drifting off to sleep and I was thinking about my grandmother, and suddenly I had a dream of my grandmother. Well, that's because whatever we think about tends to program the dream. So we think about something lightly before we go to sleep, if we're seeking a dream about that, and we hue for a minute or two to open that connection with the dream state, and do that for day 1, day 2, day 3, and you will have a dream based on what you want to remember, and that dream will give you some kind of snapshot or answer that you have been seeking.
What is the dream state? Is that a separate level of consciousness? Is that in another dimension? Is it a parallel dimension? Is it a multiverse?
It's kind of all those things.
Wow.
Depending on who you talk to, if you talk to a quantum physicist, they'll say it's a dimension. And they're literally verified, I think 12 dimensions. And where do we go when we dream?
Yeah.
A lot of ancient cultures have addressed that and asked that same question. And sometimes we go to the astral dimension. Sometimes we go to the mental dimension, to the soul plane. There's a whole bunch of them. Depends on how we want to phrase it or what book we're looking in. But yeah, we really go to other dimensions when we dream, and the memories that we bring back is the dream itself, and that's what we call a dream. But we've been traveling spiritually in those other dimensions.
All right, guys, stand by. We've got to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. X-Zone Nation, Nicole and Mike Sebastian, our special guests. The Dream Team, as featured on A&E and several other TV shows and radio shows over the years. The website, dreamteamcoaching.tv, and Dream Team, I said that one already, trustyourselfsystem.com. This is the X-Zone, a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard, and we'll be back on the other side of the news. Don't go away.
Dreams are our personal gateways into infinite wisdom. Don't miss shamanic counselor and indigenously trained dream decoder Sandra Corcoran's inspiring book, Shamanic Awakening Between the Dark and the Daylight. This remarkable work chronicles Sandra's 35 years of experience with diverse wisdom keepers and her initiations throughout the Americas and across the British Isles, Turkey, Greece, and Egypt. Sandy's knowledge of symbology, psychology, and myth influence her dream blog and workshops. Sandy offers private tarot readings, international journeys, a meditative CD, as well as her book, Shamanic Awakening, to encourage you as you navigate this earth walk, creating a deeper connection to yourself and all that is. Find this and more at Sandy's website, starwalkervisions.com.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com.
Hello, I'm Justina Marsh, and with my dad Pete, we are going to present a new show called Too Good to Be True. Together, we are aiming to discover more truths about this world and beyond. Do you have unanswered questions about the world? Do you ever wonder about aliens, conspiracy theories, or the universe? There are many shows discussing subjects such as pyramids or UFOs, but we want to relay this information based on our own research, including from spiritual means. Hopefully, listeners will be helped with their own beliefs and will appreciate the psychic insights that add to the previous research and information. We both look forward to sharing this insight and beginning this journey with our listeners. Visit xzbn.net for more information about when to listen.
Welcome back, everyone. Nicole and Mike Sebastian are very special guests of this hour here in the X-Zone. They are known as the Dream Team, and their website is dreamteamcoaching.tv and trustyourselfsystem.com. Dreams, as I was telling you on the break, one of my favorite subjects. Wasn't there an ancient civilization who was sure that when we were in our dream state, it was actually reality, and when we're awake, it's a dream? I can't remember which group that was.
Yeah, actually, Rob, that a lot of the ancient civilizations held that belief that reality is dreams, and and even quantum physics states that our reality, what we call reality, the waking reality,
right,
is a dim reflection of a much higher reality. Like there's a projector with a lot more light and sound and color projecting this reality that we see, but it's a shadow or a reflection of the real reality, and that's where we go when we dream. So that's real, and this indeed is a dream, and until we wake up from the dream, we're not really awake, and that's what a lot of the Eastern philosophies pursue, how to wake up here.
Now, I understand that there is a way that people who are dreaming can actually connect with those who have passed. How do they do that?
Well, there's a 3-step technique that I'll share with the listeners. And it simply goes like this. You know, when you lay down, you get comfy cozy like you would, you know.
Oops, hold on. Here, I'm laying down. I'm getting nice and comfy and cozy. All right, hold on. Whoops, wait a second. I'm just fluffing my pillow. Okay, go ahead.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. You would do several hues, which I'll give another demo in case, you know, someone just tuned in.
Okay.
Out loud or silently. That's the beauty. You can do this technique silently, and it is just as effective. Again, the hue technique, you inhale, and you hue on the exhale. H-U, hue. And the reason it's that word, let me elaborate. The word hue is a sacred name for God, and it's where the word human comes from. The word human actually means God within man.
Okay, so that, I'm sorry for cutting you off there, but that just confirms what is in the Bible, and God said, let us create man in our likeness and our image.
Hey, there you go.
Bingo.
Yes. And, you know, in our research of the word hue, we found it in the Oxford English Dictionary, as well as 14 different religions and their sacred book, including Christianity. Before the Bible was written in English, it was written in Hebrew, and the word hue is throughout the Hebrew version of the Bible, along with the Freemasons and the Druids and the Celtics and the Sufis, etc. So the word hue was all over the place, and even in Egypt 5,000 years ago, they used to hue at the Sphinx as a society from dusk until dawn. So the hue has quite a history attached to that word.
Could the hue be looked at as the same type of instrument that the monks use when they chant?
Oh, absolutely, because once again, it's a vibration.
Gotcha.
And there's no better, quicker way to alter your own quantum signature, if you will, your own atoms, your own central nervous system, than through vibration. And the hue, what we have found in our experimentation is that the hue works quickest out of all the words you could chant. The hue is a quicker way to get it done. So anyhow, the technique, the 3-step connecting technique, you would hue when you lay down.
Right.
A couple of hues, you know. Then you would ask, really your higher self, you know, or God, if, you know, depending on your belief system. You know, we don't want to get, you know, caught up into the different words or the different language. It's simply your higher self or God, whatever you're comfortable with, or your spiritual guides. You would ask or you would instruct. Tonight, I want to connect with my mother. tonight I want to connect with my spouse, this type of thing. And then you would hold the fond memory, a fond, loving memory of that person, and then you would go to sleep. And that is the 3-step technique to connecting with a loved one.
So it seems, going back to the 60s, the youth movement, the hippie movement, the flower power movement, they had it right. Good vibrations.
That's the song. Good vibrations.
Yeah.
It's interesting that the word hue, because we did a book called Just Say Hue, and we did a lot of our research, and from what I found after the research was, when you open the Bible, it says in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
Yeah.
That Word
was Hue.
Is Hue. Yeah, it created everything that we know, and it's in all the sacred books and in the Torah, and all the way through. It talks about the Hue as the creative force that created everything. So, like Nicole said, I've studied with a lot of spiritual paths and used to chant with the Sikhs and spent 5 years doing yoga and tried all the vibrations, and the quickest and most immediate results I've ever gotten is with the Hue. And our clients say the same thing. A lot of the clients we work with, people will call us out of the blue. They find us on the net or whatever, and they're suicidal, literally.
Wow.
And they're on, they've been to the docks, and they're on every drug known, and it's kind of like their last shot. And they found us, and they ask us, what do you do for someone? You don't even know the person. You get a call, and we give them the Hue. And most of those people call us back after a few days and, say thank you because I'm feeling hope for the first time in my life. So it changes. It's that quick. We call it the one magic word. It's the only one that will change the vibration. Because you change the vibration, you change the behavior at a subatomic particle level. So consequently, what we've found is you can't be depressed if you hue, because the hue is such a high, fine vibration that automatically brings you right out of a state of depression. It works like that.
That is wonderful. And what type of questions do you guys get asked when you're out doing either book signings, or if you're out giving lectures, or if you're out symposiums? What are some of the common questions you get asked?
Well, kind of like one of the ones I mentioned earlier. How do you know? What's a good way for knowing I've made the right decision? And we, in that sense, we work with people and try to give them some dream techniques, because through the dreams are like confirmation. In many cases, it comes in the form of signs also. People will have a sign, or a synchronicity, as Jung would call it, Carl Jung. He wrote volumes on that. But they occur all day long. They're like, many times we call them waking dreams. And, we'll be thinking about, I need to go back to school, and then the license plate in front of you in the car says school, and then you turn on the radio and the DJ says, hey, thinking about going back to school? And you go, whoa, what a synchronicity. Well, it's kind of a confirmation at that point, if you look at it, for getting an answer to what we're doing. But we do get a lot of questions also on health. A lot of people say, what can I do for my anxiety, or what can I do for my depression? And it runs the gamut. I mean, it really does. A lot of people have addictions also, and Nicole's an addiction specialist, so.
But talking about synchronicities, the examples you gave about getting into a car and you want to go to school, you turn on the radio, there's a school song, or the license plate. How can we actually give synchronicity any credence? Because why would a DJ pick one topic at the right time, the right place? Could that be coincidence?
Absolutely. And see, coincidence, here's the thing.
Okay.
People say, that's just a coincidence. And here's the error with that, the word just. Actually, all coincidence catches your attention, and because it does, That is how you are able to discern that it is actually a message for you because it caught your attention. And if we go back to soul not being on a timeline and having access to past, present, and future information, honestly, soul knows ahead of time that the DJ is going to talk about this certain topic and instructs the physical body to turn the channel to that station. If you really want to get into the mechanics of how does this whole thing play out, that is how it plays out. And the beauty with the synchronicity is the methodology behind the system of confirmation using dreams, signs, and intuition to confirm. You get a sign, you get a message from the sign, but maybe you're not 100% confident in that. You can go ahead and program your dream that night to confirm that that's the correct way to go, that that's the answer you're seeking, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha.
Should I move? Should I, like Michael said, should I start back at school? And then the DJ says, hey, da-da-da-da. Well, you can confirm it by tonight going to bed and asking the question, should I indeed go back to school?
But what does this tell us about our own self-confidence? Like, I hate to say it, guys, but I've never had to do that.
Well, God bless you, seriously. Most people have absolute lack of self-confidence and a lot of uncertainty.
Wow.
That's why people like to ask their mother and their brother and their lover and their spouse and their therapist, what do I do? What do you think? What should I? And that's what's going on, is the uncertainty level is so high. Whereas if you take it back to trust yourself, these are innate abilities that work on autopilot, whether you use them or not, and whether you believe in them or not.
I'm not taking. Whoops, go ahead.
Just real quick, once you start tracking the information, then you'll come to know that it's valid.
Now, I'm not taking away anything from anyone who, needs people like you to give them help, and thank God you both are there to help. I just boggles my imagination, though.
Yeah, and that's why our mission, we feel, is to teach people to trust themselves.
Yeah.
That's what the whole mission's about.
Didn't Shakespeare said, "To thine own self be true"?
That's right.
Yeah.
And once you know yourself, it's kind of interesting because you were mentioned coincidence and synchronicity, and Jung spent his whole life writing volumes on that. And what he didn't have access to, because it all seems so ephemeral, so contradictory, so crazy. Like, how could those things all occur at the same time? But quantum physics comes along, and quantum has proven, it's not an assertion, it's proof. Everything is connected. Everything in the known universes are all connected. It's called Bell's theorem. Okay, if they're all connected inwardly, anything that we even think or even slightly come across, and everyone has access to it. It's like a hologram. It's all contained in one moment. The past and the future are illusions here in this reality. Quantum says it's only one quantum moment, period, the end.
So
that's where we go when we access it.
Guys, I hate to do this, but we're, just pushing a couple of seconds before I have to take my next break. X-Zone Nation, Mike and Nicole, Sebastian, our special guests, and we'll be back on the other side of this break as we wrap up this hour here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away. Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies.
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows.
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
Join me, Krista Nails, on the TELUS radio show heard around the world on XZBN. On our show, we will discuss business opportunities, the art of communication, and how to draw attention to your enterprise using the new social media opportunities now afforded to entrepreneurs using the internet to create worldwide clientele. With our international special guests, we will help you to increase your global visibility and attract more customers. That's the TELUS radio show heard exclusively on xzbn.net.
There's a legend shared by many indigenous cultures of a time when the nations were cast to the four corners of the world. Each nation was given a body of sacred knowledge that held a different portion of the truth to preserve. True reality could not be known until all the nations reunited, combining the information. If a single one was missing, the world could not be reborn and darkness would prevail. The Science of Magic Radio is dedicated to reuniting the sacred knowledge. With the understanding, none of us has all the answers, but together we can open new perceptions and possibilities. Through our combined vision, the world can be reborn into a place where darkness no longer prevails. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic daily on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, xzbn.net, or visit us at thescienceofmagic.net.
Welcome back, everyone. Nicole and Mike Sebastien are our special guests, the Dream Team. Their website is dreamteamcoaching.tv and trustyourselfsystem.com. Before we went to the break, we were talking about how quantum physics is proving that we're all part of everything. So does this take away the belief that we have self-will?
Oh, no. And actually, our books talk about that, the difference between free will versus destiny.
Okay.
And in short, and then I'll give Michael the floor here, or, this is how I like to put it. Destiny is what you're born with. Mm-hmm. Free will is what you make of it. Michael Lynn?
That pretty much summarizes it, actually. It's kind of like... A good example would be, I used to play poker all the time. I was a professional poker player for years. So I'll give this example. It's like a deck of cards. And what we do with the hand that we're dealt, we're all dealt a hand, and we're playing, say, poker, stud, Texas Hold'em, we get a number of cards. Maybe we only have a pair of deuces, but we win the whole hand on that. Other times we may have four of a kind, but we lose to a straight flush. And the point is, it's what we do with the cards. So we're all dealt a certain hand. We all have certain talents. We all have certain
Karma.
A lot of things come into play, but that's our free will, what we do with it. And the talents and the things we're born with is the hand that we're dealt. That's the fate.
Yeah, and let me just give another example. Let's say, someone has diabetes, okay? And maybe they're born with it because, there's type 1 and type 2.
Yep.
Okay, type 1, you're born with it. Okay, so you've got this. Well, you have a responsibility to handle your food in a certain way, handle your health in a certain way, and you will not be affected negatively by this. However, at the same token, you can choose to eat poorly and not handle it appropriately, and you'll end up with diabetic neuropathy, etc., etc. Once again, destiny is what we're born with. Free will is what we make of it.
But how about this? Cause and effect. If you know you're going to do something that you shouldn't, then you know that the outcome isn't going to be good.
Absolutely, and we're fully responsible. Again, that's the free will part. You can make something fabulous occur, or on the same token, you can have a mess. Make a mess of things.
That's a definition of karma, actually, in most spiritual paths. It's the karma is known as cause and effect. In other words, whatever we do is what we've set up for ourselves. We've created it. And at some point, it comes back to face us. And facing ourselves is the truth. Is when we get to know ourselves and we embrace it and say, okay, it's all mine. I accept the responsibility. In that moment, we gain a type of, you could call it spiritual freedom. But with that freedom comes responsibility for accepting all the consequences that we have caused, and that's karma.
So where do we go from here? How do we prepare ourselves with what lies ahead? Obviously, you people are in tune with what is going to be happening. We can see the change in spirituality. It doesn't take a genius to see that in these days. More people are opening up their hearts. More people are opening up their minds. More people are taking the cotton batting out of their ears and listening for a change. So where do we go from here?
If I was going to leave a message with the listeners, and then I'll turn it over to Michael, I would simply say, start by utilizing the HUE technique, which we also call one-step solution. We also call it one magic word, because by hewing alone, meaning using no other techniques but the HUE on a daily basis, like you brush your teeth, you make your bed, you take out 5 to 20 minutes a day for the HUE. It actually changes your central nervous system and your atomic structure and your subatomic particles, which changes your quantum signature, meaning you're not locked in to your addictions, your bad habits, your insomnia, your depression. Actually, you end up changing your vibrations, and you end up being in harmony with things of a higher vibration. Therefore, you're not locked into the things of lower vibrations any longer. Maybe you want to quit smoking. If you just start hewing, the cigarettes will literally loosen their grip on you and make it that much easier. All of a sudden, you'll find that you're smoking less. And before you know it, you will end up quitting smoking. And there was no fight. It was actually effortless. This is what I have noted in my 24 years of doing therapy and sharing the HUE technique with clients. So that would be my message.
So let me ask you, what does the medical society or the psychiatric group say about this method?
Well, actually, there's a new methodology called mindfulness therapy. And the HUE technique would fall underneath the mindfulness therapeutic methodology. Michael Lynn?
Yeah, and a lot of the therapy today that's recommended through the different schools and thought and psychology under mindfulness has to do with sitting in silence for maybe 5 or 10 minutes every day and meditating and using a vibratory technique such as the hue. And I would agree with Nicole. If going forward, if someone were to ask me, I'd say if you just add hue to whatever you're doing, it will change your life, and it will change it quickly. It kind of reminds me, I don't want to go biblical, but the kingdom of heaven is within. And what that refers to is that if we pay attention to our intuition and our innate abilities and our dreams, and we add an outward spiritual exercise like the hue, we will literally change our life. We won't be the same person in a very short period of time. Vibrationally, we will become something new.
Is there any way to validate this claim that the hue changes the vibratory signature?
Actually, well, one thing we've done, we've actually tested it and measured it with an oximeter. You familiar with an oximeter?
Nope.
It measures your oxygen levels.
Okay.
And people on oxygen typically have an oximeter so they can test their oxygen levels and know if how that's going. So a lot of clients have the oxygen tanks, and they're on oxygen, and they have COPD or emphysema, and they have an oximeter. So actually, we've tested it with an oximeter, and without the oxygen and just using the hue, there's even testimonials on our website. One of the clients was panicking. He was out. He did not have his oxygen tank with him, and he was running low internally on oxygen. And his wife said, "Oh, honey, you don't need to worry. You just need to hue." And they had the oximeter with them, and they tested it, and it was like 82, which is too low. And so he started hewing and then tested it again, and it went all the way up to like 96 with the hue alone, not an oxygen, no oxygen added. So, in terms of how it changes the vibrations, like I said, we've measured it that way. Also, you can feel the difference. And that's what I would, the results, you can believe, there's faith, there's belief, there's facts, and then there's knowingness. And Rob, the highest form is knowingness. So I feel that by experimenting personally with the hue, you will come to know that this is valid through your own experience, and you will feel the difference.
But what do you say to people who say, "Oh, it's just a placebo effect"?
Well, I always say exactly. In other words, it works. So the proof is in the pudding. Did it work for you? And they go, "Well, yeah, my anxiety went away, but how do I know it's not? What's the difference?" The placebo effect, if you really research it, is one of the strongest effects in medicine, bar none anywhere, and that includes doing major drugs. The placebo comes in and has a more beneficial effect than all the drugs, even in terms of pain. So, the proof is in the pudding. So it's kind of like if you believe it, then it is true, because as quantum says, our state of consciousness really creates reality.
Yeah, but I don't want Michael, I don't want you to leave the audience with that, because as true as that is, Sweetie Pie, that is not so in this case, because the hue, I would just say try it, and then compare it, like use the ohm, use the other words, and you will come to know that the hue is much more than placebo. And the only way is to invite your listeners to do the hue challenge. Check it out.
Right.
And
well, you see, I'd love to do the hue challenge, but if I did that, then I'd have to do the Pepsi challenge, and I went through that many years ago, and that was a disaster. So we'll stay away from that.
Yeah, it's much more than a placebo. But Michael does have a good point. If it works, it works. It works. And what's the difference? But let me say this also.
We've got about 40
last
seconds.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I've had a client, she was on psychotropics, Paxil and Prozac and
some good stuff,
opioids, methadone, etc. for 15 years.
Wow.
She started hewing. In 1 week, she was off all of her medications except the methadone, and within 6 months, she was also off the methadone.
Well, seeing is believing, but guys, I've got to say so long for tonight. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Great talking to you again. And Exonation, if you'd like to find out more about the hewing, if you'd like to find out more about Nicole and Mike, Sebastian, here's two websites, www.dreamteamcoaching.tv and www.trustyourselfsystem.com. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as we continue here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.